we're talking today about packages. So if you are a freelance copywriter and you have struggled with selling your services or putting proposal after proposal together, Prerna is here to chat with you about how she uses packages. Prerna, what do you got to share with us today? How are you?
I am very good. I have a full presentation. Yeah, I'll be diving deep into a lot of things, and I hope it isn't a lot of information.
It will be, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's a topic that I'm borderline obsessed about.
You're pretty passionate on it, which is great, right? You wouldn't be if you didn't get awesome results. So yeah.
Yeah, and so I would let me know when it's good to share because I'm not showing my screen.
Let's dig in. We've only got 27 minutes left for everything. Yay.
All right, so sharing screen. You should be able to see my screen. And do you see my presentation?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. Let's go into play mode. I was watching one of your tutorial Tuesdays where you mentioned that your screen froze at like the first slide. So if you see that happening with me,
I'll let you know.
Okay, great. All right, so how to create profit-rich packages that are easy to sell using the image framework. But that's what I'm going to talk about. But before we do that, let's look at why should you create packages.
Okay.
Why is there a picture of my beautiful family on vacation in Dubai on a slide that should actually be talking about why should you be creating packages? Because this is why. If you want to get your time back, if you want to take vacations, like 4 vacations in a year, which is what we do, and still work with clients who are amazing and incredible, like Pat Flynn, then you should create packages. But honestly, creating packages is the easiest way for you to be more profitable, more productive, and make every piece of research that you're already doing for clients, work harder for you and just do more for you. And I don't see why anyone would want that. So for those of you who don't know me and are wondering why did Joanna invite me here, I'm the co-founder of Content Bistro, which is a boutique copywriting agency where we do some great work with great clients. I'm a certified Copyhackers certified conversion copywriter, but more importantly, I'm someone who's used packages to scale our business to consistent 200K plus years without launching a single course, without going into debt, without being burned out. And while really, really enjoying time with my family, enjoying time and taking time out and doing great work. So like last year we did 210K and this year we closed at 230K. And it's been pretty awesome. In fact, last year alone we sold over $90,000 worth of packages alone. So pretty much 50% of our revenue is from packages, which makes it such a simple decision when it comes to creating a package. Plus, I have a waitlist of people for different packages, which means that I don't really need to do any marketing. I just need to tap into the waitlist when I need a cash injection into the business. That's why you should create packages. And my goal from this tutorial Tuesday is for you to walk away knowing that you can create a package that's super profitable and productive for you, because you want to create a package that's not just a good money maker, but also that's a breeze to run. And on that note, let's talk about the fact that all packages are not created equal. That's right. Packages, in my opinion, are like personalities. They have multiple layers to them, and which is also why they're so beautiful, because even if you create a package that's exactly the same as the package that I have, in our case, for instance, the fully loaded launch copy packages has been imitated I don't know how many times, and I'm honestly flattered by that. And I love seeing other copywriters launch it, because I know that at the end of the day, their copy package and my copy package is going to be very, very different. And that is the beauty of packages, is that all packages are not created equal, especially when you create a package using the image framework. It just helps you stand out even in a crowded niche. But before we dive into the image framework, what I want to really look at are the reasons why people don't sometimes do packages, or why packages get a bad name. And that's because of the three no good, very bad mistakes most copywriters make with their packages. And this is something that I've seen over the last so many years. And I've spoken to copywriters who've tried creating packages and they've either not sold, or if they've sold, they've had a miserable time delivering it, feeling like they're being underpaid and overworked. So these are the three mistakes that we found people making over and over again. Mistake number one: be a muggle. For those of you again who don't know me, huge Harry Potter fan. I find it very difficult to write any piece of copy for my own brand or any email or create presentations like this without a Harry Potter reference. So in Potter world, a muggle is someone with no magical powers. A muggle is a normal, everyday person. And as copywriters, you're not a muggle. You have so many magical powers. You have the powers of persuasion. You have the powers of conversion. You have the power of psychology. You have the power of emotion. You have the power of personality. And you use all these powers to write great copy, to do great marketing. So why not bring these powers and use this magic to create a package? Don't be a muggle who gets lost in a sea of muggles. Mistake number two: be Hermione. Hermione is a super strong role model for so many girls, and I love her. But she has the tendency to try to be a people pleaser. She has the tendency to raise her hand and volunteer for everything, even though she knows it's going to overwhelm her, burn her out. She has the best interests at heart, but she ends up really exhausting herself. And if you create a package where you end up raising your hand and being everything and doing everything for a client who actually signed up for a small package, you'll end up hating packages for the rest of your life. You'll end up thinking that they are the worst possible use of your time. So you don't want to be a Hermione. Mistake number three: be Ron. Ron Weasley is Harry Potter's best friend, and he's a solid rock. Great guy to have in your corner. However, Ron suffers from a severe lack of confidence, especially in the early books, for those of you who are Harry Potter fans. He lacks confidence in his own abilities and his own strengths. And as copywriters, if you find that when you're creating packages and you're questioning your own self-worth, you're questioning whether you should charge, say, five figures for a package, that's where your confidence comes into play. And you don't want to be an underconfident Ron when tacking on a 5-figure price tag, because you want to show up with confidence not only when you're pricing and positioning your packages, but also when you're running those packages. And how do you do that? You create a winning package. A winning package that's based on the image framework. And the test for a winning package is the 3E formula. A package should be easy to create, easier to sell, easiest to deliver. Creating a package shouldn't feel like you're walking the nails, sitting in a dentist's chair. It shouldn't feel painful. It should feel fun. It should feel exciting. It should feel like you're giving something really great to the world. And when you create it, like using, again, what we'll be talking about, the identify part of the image framework, you'll find that it's so much fun to put a package together. So easy to create is, of course, a given. Easier to sell. When you create packages that take your client's needs into account, that take your skills into consideration, that take your experience and expertise in account, you'll find that it becomes so much easier to sell a package. Selling a package does not have to feel challenging. For those of you who don't know this, when we first launched, Fully Loaded launch, I just used social media updates. I didn't have a sales page. I didn't have emails. I used social media updates and a free form for people to fill in and buy the package. Over the years, the package has gone several iterations. We then moved to a sales page with a buy button, but that it was a good problem. It led to a problem where we had too many people buying the package. So we replaced the buy button with a waitlist button, and people started signing up for the waitlist. Again, a really good problem to have. Today, in the latest iteration, we have an application process, so we can, really filter out who's signing up and be very selective about who we work with. Bottom line, it doesn't have to be difficult for you to sell your package. It can be super easy. The idea is it should be very easy for your prospects to understand what that package involves and to understand how can they buy it, how can they just get their hands on it. So don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it. And finally, most importantly, your package has to be easiest for you to deliver. That is the goal, right? You don't want your package to leave you feeling stressed, burned out, or exhausted at the end of the day. You want to deliver your packages with confidence, have fun doing it, show up, and just have a real blast with it. So all of this is what goes into creating a winning package. And with that, let's talk about the image framework. So the image framework is what we reverse engineered. My husband and I, we work together. So when I say we, I mean both of us. So we reverse engineered when we were considering looking at deeply, what made some of our packages really, really successful and why some of them probably didn't get the attention they deserved. So not like all 100% of my packages haven't been really successes. I've had quite a few, but there's been a fair amount of trial and error, and this framework is the result of that trial and error. So we realized that the 5 things that made the biggest difference were these, which kind of now line up nicely as the image framework. It's fairly straightforward: identify, mindset, audience, get clear, and engage. And I'm gonna, in the interest of time, I'm gonna dive really deep into identify, because that is the foundational step when it comes to creating your package, and I'll also touch on everything else so that you know what to keep in mind when you're working on your profit-rich package creation worksheet that I'll share with you after this tutorial Tuesday. Before I go further, Joanna, is there anything you want me to cover, talk, or should I just go through?
No, this is good. I think the only thing is just a little bit of setting expectations for some people who are like, can you just give an example of what's in a package? So they're starting to, just help them visualize what they're working toward.
So what I would talk about what goes into like different packages when I look at the 3 approaches that we can take when creating a package. And then what we can do is I can come back to questions and answer like specific questions about package creation if someone's got like a particular service they offer.
Love it.
Probably we could do that.
Cool.
All right. So identify is fairly straightforward. What is it that you will create, and why are you the best person to create it? And this is like the first foundational step, and this is what we'll be diving deep into. And this is where I'll also give you a couple of examples of what could be included in a package. Mindset. Mindset is brain fuel for everybody. It's not the woo-woo, write 100 affirmations kind of mindset, but mindset is what helps you show up with confidence when you're pricing your package. Mindset is what helps you show up with confidence when it comes to running your packages or delivering them for that matter. So mindset for me is threefold. It's self-talk, which is the internal dialogue in my head. Self-stationing, which is how I choose to position myself and how I show up online. And self-care, which in this case is all about boundaries. So how are you going to bake boundaries into when you create your package? Will it include email access to you or not? How many revisions? Okay, how responsive will you be? Who will the client be interacting with? Once you have all of that baked in, it becomes very easy for you to kind of keep boundaries in place and enforce those boundaries. For self-talk dialogues, it's super helpful for you to review your wins, review your expertise, review your experience, the results you've gotten. That just kind of helps you, tune into why you're charging what you're charging. Why is it worth that much to the client? What is the ROI the client is going to get from the package? Audience. Your audience is your strongest ally. It's your biggest asset, and knowledge of your audience. As copywriters and marketers, we know that knowing our audience is super important. We know that it's key for us to know who our audience is, and it's no different when you're creating a package. It's so important that you should know their pains, their struggles, their secret dreams and desires. What is it that they really want? They may be saying one thing, but they want another, so you know all of this, and it's time to use all of that knowledge of your audience, in this case, your prospects and your clients, and use that when you're creating your package. Once you know all of that, it's time for you to get clear. Clarity is the bedrock of profitability. Clarity is where everything comes together. And honestly, I learned this from Joe when I was learning to write better copy, because I think Joe said something like, it's better to be clear than be clever or cute. And I realized it's the same thing when it comes to writing copy. You want to be super clear. Who is this package for? What is it? What's included? What's not included? Who should not go for this package? Who would not be like the right fit? Why are you the best person to teach this? Once you're clear with all of this, it becomes very easy for you to sell, which is engage. I look at sales as engagement and empowerment, because it's so much easier when you're empowering your audience and helping them move forward, take action. And when you come from a place of engaging your audience, pricing and positioning becomes super, super easy. So when you have all of this in place, when you know who you're offering it to, why you're offering it, when you know you have the confidence to charge what like whatever you feel is right and what makes the most logical sense to a client as well, when you know your audience inside out, it becomes so much easier for you to sell that package and position it the right way. Okay, with that done, let's dive into identify and what it means. Joe, how are we doing on time? I want to leave time for questions.
You've got a max of 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right, so let me just go through this, and let me tackle your questions, because I can see questions pop up on the screen as well. So identify, fairly straightforward, what is it that you will be offering, and of course, why will you offer it, or why are you the best person to offer it, what makes you credible in terms of skills, expertise, and the results you've gotten. And again, it's not always that, you can always use a package to actually pivot into a new service, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But it's very important that you get clear on what will you offer. The reason you want to focus on this is because when you are clear on identifying what is it you're offering and why are you the best person to offer this, it helps you avoid the 3 no good, very bad mistakes. But more importantly, it helps you create and lay the foundation for a 3E package. So a package that's easy to create, easier to sell, and easiest to deliver. Now, when we're identifying what is it that you should create, what and why you're the best person to create it, you can take 3 approaches with this. You can go narrow, wide, or deep. Now, when you go narrow, you focus on one service, and you look at elements of that service, and you use that to create a package. For example, say you have a website design business, or maybe a website copywriting business. A website audit is one part of that. So you can pull website audit out and offer that as a package or a productized service with both the pre-work elements and the post-work elements included. So you don't just say, I'm going to give you a website audit. You walk them through exactly how you're going to do that. You make that process super clear. You build that package up. So the pre-work could include a questionnaire. It could, I don't know if you want to include a call in it. It depends on how the level. If you want it to just be like an automated thing, maybe you don't want to call. But I've in the past offered an audit package where I've done a call with them before the audit and a call after the audit as well. So you break that audit down into different elements and you offer just that. So you go narrow. Similarly, if you're a designer, it could be, and you offer, like, say, branding services, your package could just be, you pull out from the branding services, you could pull out like the brand palette and mood board, the logo mood board and things like that. So you give them that and show them how that's going to help them with their branding and help them move forward. You help them take like one small step forward. Creating a narrow package makes a lot of sense if you want a starter package, if you want a package that for prospects who probably never worked with you before and you want to make it really easy in for them to kind of get to know you and get to know what it is that you can do for them. So a narrow package would work really well. You can go wide and you can go deep. Deep is where you focus on one core outcome. For instance, in our case, like with the fully loaded launch thing, a stress-free launch was the core outcome that we were focused on. We wanted to help our clients experience a launch where they weren't scrambling around for either social media updates or blog posts or whatever. So we gave them everything they needed. That's not how the package is structured right now, but that's how it was in the early days. So we wanted it to be like a totally stress-free launch, and we structured the package to focus on that core outcome. So you focus on one core outcome, and you look at the services that will help your client accomplish that outcome, and then you create a package with those services put together. And finally, you can go wide. So in wide, you focus on one piece of a big picture. I tend to look at it as, being a marketer, I look at it as the marketing puzzle. I look at the one piece of the marketing puzzle, and then I pull services from different parts and see how I can help my client knock that piece of the puzzle out, or fill that piece of the puzzle, however you may want to look at it. So for instance, we had a content marketing strategy package that we used to offer back in the day when we were doing business blogging and social media. So in this case, what you would do is we took a strategy session, which by itself could be a package actually on its own, a productized service on its own, but we added a 60-minute strategy session, include a blog editorial calendar, which again can be a standalone service, but we're going wide. We're helping them, just tackle one piece of the marketing puzzle. And we added 4 blog posts. So it was a wide package that just covered their content marketing needs. And we could keep going wider. We could include social media updates as an optional add-on to promote those blog posts. We could include images to include in those blog posts. So again, you just keep going wide like that. So that's narrow, wide, and deep. And that is how you would create packages, like how you would tackle when you're thinking about creating a package or starting to think about what is it that you should include. You can either go narrow, you can go wide, or you can go deep, depending on what your goals are from package creation. Go ahead, grab your package worksheet that walks you through, again, the image framework and all the other aspects as well. It has questions so you can answer and create your own package.
Awesome. Okay, well then let us wrap this up. Prerna, thank you for that great overview of selling with packages. And everybody else, be sure to go over to that link, get the download, hear what Prerna's got to say. It's all good. Prerna, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for attending. Thank you, Carrie, for supporting. Awesome. All right, we'll see you. We're off for the month of June. I'm getting hitched, yo. So I'm taking June, not off from work, but like a couple days off. But we'll see you back here for Tutorial Tuesdays in July. You can see the schedule online. And otherwise, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye. Thanks, guys.
It's the 90s.